Welcome back, everyone. So let's remove the bookmark and continue our story. So, Liberators, you are awakened. You wake up in the morning. The rain is still beating down as you can hear it outside the windows of the room, that communal room that you're all sleeping in. Albeit it's not as heavy, or nor is it lightning and thundering as it was the night before. You wake up. The dome fades away, revealing you to the entirety of the room and each other. What would you like to do?
Yeah, let's go see what they've got packing. I'm sure they'd let me whip something up. And then she will kind of like rub her eyes, clearly still like asleep.
Mm-hmm. You go ahead and rub your eyes and you all get up. As you open the door, already at the door, about to knock onto it, is Koben. Sorry to startle you. Just wanted to just make sure you guys were up and ready to continue the day and the journey back.
Don't you want to have breakfast?
Certainly. They have a meal already prepared downstairs. It's quite busy. Everybody wants to see us off.
Oh. How kind. We should not keep them waiting.
And then he begins walking. As you all start to gather your things and walk out, he does slow down until he gets back to back or side to side with Cal. And then he pulls him aside. And then you all see Cal get pulled aside to one of the corners, and Koben goes up to Cal and says, Mr. Cal, I finished what we were talking about. It took me quite some time to get everything down to perfection, and you can tell looking at his eyes, he has bags underneath his eyes, and he looks a little tired. Maybe he benefited from a long rest, you're not really sure, but he does look quite exhausted. But he hands over the two regular pistols that you have, and you can tell immediately by looking at them that they have a shimmer, like a glow, showing that they have magical properties. It's not much, and it will only last for a day, about 24 hours, but this should give you the ability to use these as if they were magical pistols. I couldn't do much more past that, but with more time and practice, I'm sure I can infuse it with other types of things. I am not a master artificer. I can't go beyond to make it last forever, but I can enchant it so it lasts for the day. Here you are, and he hands you the two pistols.
This is amazing. I'm honored that you would do this for me. And honestly, you and Horatio need to talk.
Oh, I don't know what I could teach Master Dularian, but I will assist in any way that I can.
Yes, and I'm sure King would love to have you as part of our ceremony that we'll probably be having this evening.
Ceremony?
Yes, I will let him explain it. Let's go with everybody else, and on the journey back, we'll discuss everything.
Certainly.
Thank you again.
No, the pleasure's all mine. And he walks off, catching up with the rest of the group. And as you all make your way down the stairs, you are greeted upon a fanfare of people who go, "Ah!" As everyone raised their mugs, and the place is just as packed as it was the night before. As you see, the entire town is here, eating meals and breakfast. There's music playing. Even though the rain is dripping down in the background, it doesn't seem to sully the atmosphere, as everyone's spirits are raised high. Even the mayor is there as well, just taking a drink or a swig out of his cup, looking over at you and giving you a wave.
Horatio waves back. For the record, Hootie would have went, like, the kids would have still had Hootie. He never poofed him away, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if Hootie is still in here or if he's somewhere else.
You look around the room and you do spot the kids. They don't have Hootie.
Oh. I go to look through Hootie's eyes.
You go look through Hootie's eyes. You see that he's in some type of bird cage inside of a house. Possibly one of the home of the children that was playing with him. And he just seems to be just moving around in the bird cage. It's pretty large and comfortable, and there's bird seats for him, though he doesn't eat, so.
Okay, so, do I know the kid that I put Hootie on their head? Do I see the kid? Do I see them, I meant?
Yeah, with your keen mind, you know who it is and see them playing around in the corner with other children.
I would walk up to him and, "Hey, I'm probably going to be heading out, so you don't got much time to be playing with my little friend Hootie. Where is he?"
"Oh, my mom, she decided that it was time for me to go to bed, and well, but we had a spare bird cage. I used to have a pet bird myself before he passed, and he seemed to be comfortable in there. He's back at home. I could get him if you need."
"No, it's all right. I can bring him back. And then I poof him away and poof him right back on my shoulder.
Oh, I love magic. It's so cool.
Magic is cool.
Nevertheless, people come and try to usher you to sit down as there are seats. There are 6 seats waiting for each of you, and they all kind of carry you and open up the seat and pull it out and push you down onto it. They're serving you all different types of meal. There's bread and porridge and eggs and other types of meals. Even some meat that they didn't have the night before, but they seem to get. No one else seems to be eating like the meat and everything that you have there. They're all eating what seems to be the same type of food you had the night before, but you guys seem to have like the fanciest of the meals.
Oh, what a spread. Let's take it, I guess. Just like looks around sheepishly at all the attention.
Yannicka hobbles over, says, kind adventurers, thank you once again for what you have done. We were able to scrounge up a proper meal for you all. Sorry we weren't expecting you the night before, but please enjoy.
Oh, it'll be our honor. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Before Horatio gestures to the kid who had Hootie and like, hey, come here.
The kid walks on over to you.
And he opens his spell book and turns to the Find Familiar page, and he starts like explaining the spell a little bit. It's like, if you're interested in magic, you should pursue it. You could have your own little owl or cat or even an octopus.
Oh, thanks, sir. I mean, I don't know how to read yet, but I'm learning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're learning, that's the first step in the right direction.
Sure.
You can be a great wizard.
Maybe I can even join the Corpus Arcana.
Horatio kind of smiles a little bit and he says, I am part of the chorus, you know.
What? You're a Corpus Arcana? Oh, I'm sorry, you're a Corpus Arcana?
Yeah. I'll put in a good word for you, alright? What's your name?
Lucian.
Lucian?
Mm-hmm.
Got a last name, Lucian?
Vanden.
Lucian Vanden. Put in a good word for you, alright? Make sure you get there.
Thank you, sir. Oh, I'm so excited. And he hobbles over, he runs over to his friends and they begin chattering, and you see a bunch of oohs and ahs and whoa, no way happening over in that corner.
Duran kind of looks at the food and looks guiltily at King and looks back at the food.
I'll just nod and take a spoon myself and like nod knowingly again and cast prestidigitation on our food to make it yummy.
It seems wrong that he brain chats King. It seems wrong that we should eat their finest food while we're only just going to be coming and going. Doesn't this town need it more than we do?
It would offend I'll reply, it would offend them. They spent such time and effort preparing this specifically for us. I don't disagree with you, but let's just make them happy. We did do them a great service.
Sometimes it is giving to take and taking to give.
I take a stab at the meat. TM, what kind of meat is this?
Taking a stab at the meat and looking at it, it looks to be some type of sausage, bovine-like. It was a farm, so possibly they have pigs, cows, you're not sure. You haven't seen all of the town. Duran's still the perimeter of the town, but there's definitely more inside of it.
Okay. I try the mystery village meat.
Alright. As you taste its normal taste, it's actually not bad. It's seasoned, right? It's definitely a pork of some kind, like a sausage, and it's spicy. It's quite enjoyable. Obviously, you've had much better in the past, but, for a backwater town, this isn't too bad.
Oh, Monako, you should try the sausage. It's almost as good as yours, I say with like a knowing kind of look.
Yeah. It looks great. This is all so much, don't you think?
Very, very nice and kind of all of these people to do this for us.
I was just thinking about how much this small town reminds me of the village I grew up in, with so few people. The reaction we got here is totally different than, well, it's great to be a hero, huh?
It definitely helps get through some of the more difficult things that we do. Look at all these smiles. They can live a little bit less anxiety-ridden, especially after what you did last night. You really revived the place.
Well, yeah. I'm just glad they're going to be safe now.
Alright. So as you all begin to finish your meals, those of you who don't prestidigitate, it's pretty good. Those who do, it tastes as well as you prestidigitate it to be. But Nonetheless, everyone kind of hovers around you and asks questions, and you have small talk and conversation. And about an hour passes once your meal has been completed, and the mayor walks on over again and says, "Everyone, once again, we have to thank the Liberators and Koben for, well, liberating us from the demons that scourged our waters." And they go into a cheer again, shouting out your name, "Liberators, we love you!" One person's like, Liberators! And passes out, foaming at the mouth. Seems that everyone here enjoys your presence. On behalf of all of Goldgrass Ranch, you are honorary citizens and are welcome here anytime, for free!
Yes, you're too kind. Thank you.
No, it is our honor. If you need anything else, please let us know. Until then, please let the adventurers finish out their breakfast and pack their thing whenever they're ready to leave. Though you can stay as long as you wish.
Yannick, I have one small, teensy-weensy request.
Yes.
Instruct you and your people to give praise to the Prolephacy. They're quite important to me and some of my companions, and I know Thelos generally follows the Aegis, but we must give thanks to the old gods as well. Just a small request, thanks.
Roll a persuasion check at advantage.
This man.
A
Ooh.
29?
29. Okay.
Nice.
So he looks on over to you and the people who heard you as well. They kind of look bewildered at each other. And he says, "Oh, you are a follower of the Prolephacy, are you?"
Yes, I follow Myliki.
Oh, instead of Artemis. Well, certainly, of course. If you, the ones who saved us, were brought here by Prolephacy, then we shall give our thanks to them. Praise the old gods and the new! And they all shout out, "Praise the old gods and the new!"
I have the biggest, widest grin on my mouth that they start doing that.
Praise be to Kalambor.
Praise be.
And they yell out, "Praise be to Kalimvor and Hades!"
Horatio doesn't finish his food, but leaves enough or eats enough where it's not offensive that he didn't finish it.
Okay.
He's like, "I'm quite full. I'm ready to go whenever you guys are."
Oh, King, are you ready to do the thing with the unicorn?
Oh, you know it, yes. If everyone's ready, I will summon the squad.
Roll.
I will do a stand with my legs out, and sort of pronounced and spin chastiful sort of around me in a Sailor Moon baton swirl, and then toss it up into the air, and then it will shatter into its 5 pieces, fall to the ground, and form like roots into the unicorns they are.
Oh, I love it when he does that.
And so the pieces break apart, forming into their unicorn form, appearing, and as all the crowd comes out of the, I'm assuming you left, comes out of the tavern and watches in amazement at the magic, and a little boy that Horatio spoke to before, his eyes are super wide open as he's staring at the magic that's happening. You guys lock eyes for a second, giving him a little wink, and he just smiles, and you all hop onto the backs of your unicorn, and then Koben goes towards King, like as he did before, to hop onto his as well. You mind giving me a hand?
Horatio had a few questions. He was planning to ride with you today.
And as he says that, I pull up next to him and put my hand down.
"Oh, me ride with a Dularian. You surely are, thank you." And he goes and grabs your hand and hops onto the back of it. He's kind of heavy, and so he kind of pulls you off with it, but the magic from the unicorn keeps you afloat on top of
I'm
that.
like, "Oh man, you are the strongest wizard I've ever met."
Well, Master Dularian, I delve into more of battle magic and like to put myself in there because, you need a strong instrument if you want to be able to play the best of notes.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I worked on sharpening my mind, so. And please, call me Horatio.
Master Horatio, of course. Thank you.
Yeah. We ready, guys?
Ready.
Ready.
All right, so bidding farewell towards the town of Goldgrass Ranch, they start waving, and the entire town comes out and goes, "Bye, bye!" as the rain kind of smacks down onto them and you. Excuse me, not heavily, but it's still coming down. Koben goes ahead and snaps his fingers, pulling out of his bag of holding the Heaven's Due, the Symphony Chalice, and turning it on. The sphere of protection comes upon all of you as you ride off in formation into the dusk set of heading back north towards the Arcane Capital. So at your fast pace, if you're going fast pace, you can make it there. Normally it would take you about a little bit less than a day because you went a little bit further to get to Gold Grass. But going as fast as you can will probably take you half a day, full straight ride there with some little breaks in between. So we'll probably be getting close to later afternoon, early evening when you arrive. Is there anything you wish to do in that meantime? I know you want to discuss things with Koben, or did you want to head straight there?
I would like to, just kind of pick Koben's brain a little bit, and I say, hey, Koben.
He's like, yeah, he says, holding on to you.
So how long were you a member of the Corporis for?
Let's see, how old am I now? Oh, I'm pushing 75, so I was in the Corporis for about 50 years.
Oh, and did you know Gerard Dularian?
Oh, I wish. No, but he is legend.
Did you know Susan Dularian?
Susan Dularian. Oh, that name brings back memories. Why, I didn't know her personally, but she was legendary.
Yeah. I must be honest, you're the first person that has had a positive reaction to me being a Dularian.
Well, of course. You are from a legendary family. The Dularians, they started the Corporis in a way. They are, I wouldn't say I guess you could say they're like divine wizards. Just, they have blessings that we normal wizards don't have much knowledge about. And of course, I always revere those who are more powerful and have more knowledge than I. I can only learn from such. And since you carry the blood of Dularian, I'm sure I can learn lots from you.
I actually was wondering if maybe you can teach me about this infusion magic that you're so learned with. I'm afraid I don't really have much to teach you, though.
Well, I'm sure you know more than you think. But yes, infusion magic is something that I developed in my time in the Corporis. As you might know, eventually to graduate out of it, you need to develop your own magic, so to speak. And I was really fascinated on using weaponry and infusing it. Not so unfamiliar to what an artificer would do, but where they need more time and they push their magic permanently, I thought that I can aid my allies in battle if I can fuse part of my magical prowess into their weapon. I studied the elements, and I'm able to conjure flames and wind and all the elements into a weapon. And then, depending how powerful and successful I am, it will last for some short time, giving it some extra properties.
That is interesting. It's basically, really, it's fascinating. I would be honored if you taught me.
Well, as soon as we have some time and you're free, I would love to teach you. It would be my honor, Master Horatio.
And then that was the conversation. The rest of the ride, he does say, if you do have any questions for me, feel free to ask.
Well, actually, I do have a couple questions. So, well, for one, I can tell you're a very powerful wizard from your the mark on your back of the Arcana. May I ask? Well, although I revere the Dularians, I'm not so keen onto what's going on with them. Your mother, your father, how are they involved with the Corporis? Are they around?
Well, my father is Frank Kane. He is a seeker.
Oh.
And my mother is Susan Dularian of Kane. And she left the Corporis and became a seeker. That garnished some dislike towards her, and they wanted her arrested, possibly killed. And as I was going to school, once I found out that she was lost in the void, I attempted to maybe gain permission to put together a research team and come looking for her, but they denied it, so I ended up leaving as well. And you know that it is kind of a lifelong deal when you're a corporus, especially descendancy.
So you and your mother both... Well, I mean, I've heard rumors of a Dularian leaving. But hunted? What did she do? If you don't mind me asking.
She took the recipe to the Felix Felicis with her and provided it to the Seekers.
You hear him like gasp loudly, and he holds on to you a little tighter. As in shock, he kind of loses his footing a little bit, but not realizing that the unicorn keeps him upright, he grabs onto you and then he just goes, I've heard of the... I mean, excuse my language, this is just what's heard. I heard of the great traitor, the betrayer who took our most ancient of secrets and spilled them. I did not know it was your mother.
Yeah, and they still want her to pay for that.
I'm sorry that they've put on a kill order on her, or capture. That's terrible. And what of your father?
Well, my father and Horatio kind of gets he kind of gets lost in thought for a second, and he goes, he's looking for my mother now.
You say she's lost in the void?
I think she's captured, but yeah.
Oh my, I'm so sorry to hear that. If there's anything I hear, or anything I know, I'll be sure to let you know.
I know, friend. Thank you.
My pleasure, Horatio. And you guys continue heading off. But, nevertheless, the rains begins to lighten up as the day travels on. You stop every so often to take some drinks, replenish the heavens dew, and continue before reaching close up where you can start to see the arcane capital far off into the distance. I am going to need, as you guys are riding, everyone to roll me perception checks.
Are we gonna see some zombies? Some undeadies? Ooh.
With you, I'm just in my own world.
So am I, kinda.
Trying to pay attention, but I have things on my mind.
Okay, so we have King with a natural 1, Manako with a 13, Duran with a 20, Cal with an 8, and Horatio with a 10. Far off into the distance, only Duran able to see this. The rest of you are just riding. Duran, you see what looks to be a small group of what you roll a 20, so with your sharp eyes you can clearly see that these are undead beings making their way. Now, the speed they're going and the distance you are, it doesn't look like they'll be here within the day, but probably by next afternoon or next morning they will possibly be close enough. Also, you can see looking towards the capital itself as you are running towards the arcane Thelos, you do see a small army of Unity Knights, just like, they'll be little dots in the distance walking in that same direction. But all of you are far enough away from it where it's not even nearby.
Wait! The distance. I see two armies drawing on each other. The undead, and I believe those are the Unity Knights?
Where do you see them?
He points in the direction.
And then you see towards your east. You guys are going north, so it's closer towards where Rainbow Ridge would be, but much further than where you first encountered them originally when you came here. You see the undead. Whereas as you look off, and it's very far, so you can barely see. Just Duran has such keen eyes that he's able to make out these details. But you do see a group of some type of armored individuals walking to meet them.
Well, they said that they were going to go and fight against the undead. It is good to see that the people are not just making it up, and that the Unity Knights are caring for the citizens of this kingdom. I offer them a prayer.
Horatio would summon Hootie and send Hootie in that direction so that he keeps an eye. And it's like, all right, Hootie, I'm sending you on a mission, buddy. As Hootie's flying, he's telling him telepathically, I need you to just keep overwatch. I'll check in from time to time.
Hootie looks over you and goes and flies up and flies off into that direction at top speed, trying to survey the area. And at this point, you guys finally make it towards the sapphire circlet of moat that is the entryway towards the arcane capital. Koben gets off, and you guys begin to slow down as the drawbridge is up currently. Koben gets off and pulls out the same papers that he had pulled out before. It is I, Koben, with the demon hunter. I have returned from vanquishing the demon that scourged down by Goldgrass Ranch. He says they're shining out. His voice is booming loud enough for them to hear, so alerting you he's possibly using some type of magical technique. The guards look at each other for a second before lowering the drawbridge, go, till it finally falls down in front of you, bridging the gap over the moat that they placed. And then you walk through once again. The same guards that you saw the night before, the same ones there, they look at you and give a nod. No need to step back into the registration. And Koben turns to you. Well, all right, we're back. Shall we head towards the tram? Or do you have someplace you need to go? I mean, that concludes our business together, but you're feel free to come by anytime you want, or if you need to discuss anything. I would love to have you.
I actually need to go to the chorus.
Oh, all right then. Good luck with them.
I'm going to prepare for the ritual this evening. I think we have most supplies, but better to double check, right?
King, it seems that Sir Koben here is very talented with magical infusions. Maybe he would be of some assistance tonight.
Oh, really? And my ears perk up and my face widens. Koben, I did not know you were so proficient in infusion magics.
Oh, well, yes. So, I had explained to Master Cal here and Master Horatio that I have an ability to temporarily, and depending on how well I perform is how long it would last, infusions of elements and magical properties onto weaponry.
Oh, incredible.
Well, it's nothing like your flame blade or your magical spear staff and such, where it's permanent. At least I can enhance temporarily.
Interesting. Well, if you do wish to join us this evening, we are performing a ritual. I will be leading our group on a journey of understanding. I was able to find a tome and copy an old ritual that explains how to better attune one to a magic item and learn about fostering that essence and that connection. I do have enough divine residuum to potentially cover for you, but if you wish to participate with an item, please bring enough incense and powdered silver to cover yourself.
I would love to, sure. Where did you want to meet up at my place, or is there some particular you wanted to meet up?
Well, we do have an estate with some property, a small backyard. I was going to host it there, but if you have a better location that might foster this ritual.
Does your place also have all of the automatons?
Me? No, I don't have all those creepy automatons. Oh, so you must be in one of those special corporeous houses, then.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they creep the hell out of me. Always listening. They may say they're not, but they are always listening, and who knows? Judean Sunfell, the Archmage, is a paranoid type, and I wouldn't put it past him to be able to listen in on his guests with these creatures.
He did help us locate or allow us to find this information to conduct this ritual. So I don't disagree with you that they are creepy and listening, but this is one time that I would not, outwardly oppose. But if you have a more secure location, I would not oppose to having it at your house.
Well, it's my house. My headquarters is your headquarters, so as esteemed partners of mine, you can certainly have it there. I have lots of areas, especially ones that are infused with magic, to do the rituals I have to do. Sometimes when fighting demons, you have to prepare yourself in the divine.
So you have a few magic circles. That could be quite useful.
Yes, I do.
Great. So we'll be at your residence this evening. We wish to do it under the moonlit sky. Well,
hopefully there will be no clouds and we'll have some moon. But from the looks of it, And he looks up, and you all look up at it, and it's a little bit cloudy there. Doesn't look too good, but who knows? Sure.
We'll see. Okay, so we're on this evening. We'll see you in a few hours.
Great. Well, I'm heading to the Light District. I don't know if that's where you're heading as well.
I mean, that is where our house is, so probably. Okay.
Okay, well, let's hit the trams then. And then he begins walking off to a familiar path to the trams.
To only Monaco, Horatio says, I'm going to need you to come with me to the Corporus.
Is it time?
He said he has information for us.
Alright. She gives you a nod.
Okay. So what are you two doing? Are you guys heading in that direction as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna just go. Horatio did say he has to go to the Corporus, so he wouldn't go to the house. He would just go straight to the HQ and then send a message to Judean.
Okay. Did you want to go to the one in the Light District or the one? So you're still in the Gray District. Or do you want to go?
We're gonna take the tram to the Light District and then split up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So you all head towards the tram, getting inside. It's busy as it usually is. So like I said, it's about getting close towards the evening time at this point. But you get into the tram, and the hustle and bustle of it goes on as people come in pairs from the Gray District, and eventually, slowly, you start to make your way past all the other circles until eventually making your final stop over at the Light District. As you can see, there's much less people in the tram at this point. The doors open up and you exit off into the streets that you recognize, and reach the fork point between the manor and the Corporus Arcana headquarters, or the registration office.
Before we split up, Monaco will give King a big hug and tell him to be safe. I'm gonna go with him to the Corporus, but I'll meet you up later tonight, okay?
Yeah, no worries. I'm with Cal and Duran. Good luck. Let us know if you need anything.
Be careful around the Corporus Arcana. I cannot trust them.
Agreed.
I will be.
And Koben bids you farewell. Well, I'll see you all tonight. Good luck with
Koben,
whatever you're dealing with. Oh, yes.
before you leave, I did not understand much of your magic weapons, enchanting magic, but it sounds like you understand magic and weapons.
I have knowledge in that. To be an infuser, you have to have mastery of the enchantment portion, as well as the weaponry itself.
I have a strange weapon. I was wondering that you could look over and use your keen sense to maybe help me understand more. If Wizard Horatio trusts you, I believe you're a man worth trusting. And I've seen you in battle, and I know you have a keen eye.
Well, of course, Master Duran. I can certainly look over your weapon. Would you like me to take it now, or when we meet tonight?
Yes. He reaches with a bit of trepidation. Duran reaches on his back, and he pulls up the magnetic blade that's still wrapped in like a cloth around it.
And he looks at it. Mind if I... And he goes to pull up the cloth. As soon as he grabs it... Well, are you holding it in front of him for him to take it?
Yes.
Okay, as soon as he grabs it, falls straight to the ground. Ka-ding! He's like, this is... And he pulls off the cover onto it, and it begins to... As like the little metal pieces on his clothes begin to start to get pulled. And then he looks at it for a second and quickly wraps it back up. He puts two hands onto it and he begins to pull it up. He's like, and he does manage to lift it slightly, albeit it's extremely slowing him down as he's carrying it. Well, I can tell from first hand this is dwarven work. It's beautiful. Its properties, I would love to look this over. And he like opens up his bag of holding and just slides it in it. Oh, well, what kind of blade did you just hand over?
It is a sensitive issue at the moment, but I believe that if we understand more about this, we might be able to help our friends on our mission.
Oh, certainly. I don't have much to do anyway. I can look it over before you come over and let you know what I find. And he looks over you and starts inspecting your arms and gets really close. How strong are you to lift this thing? And he looks at his own muscly arms.
Not as strong as you, Koban. I believe it is some kind of magic. I I find magic to be great, but sometimes hard to understand.
Oh, I guess that must be it. Yeah, I'll look this over. Thank you for trusting me, Duran. Well, in any case, see you all later tonight. And he begins walking off, kind of holding his arm a little bit since from the strain of lifting up the magnetic blade, before finally turning a corner and leaving your sight. So, anything else you wish to discuss, or do you take your part now?
After we start off and are away from Minako and Horatio and Koben, I'm going to cast Divine Sense.
Okay.
And I want to see if there are any celestial, fiend, or undead within my presence of about 60 feet.
Alright, so you go ahead and cast you close your eyes in Divine Sense as everyone's saying their goodbye. You reach out and you feel the sense of undead. As the wave of energy, divine energy, goes across in the 60-foot sphere around you, going above buildings. You ping on top of one of the side building, the feeling, the watchful gaze of an undead.
And in brain chat, I say to King and Duran, "We're being followed again on the rooftop."
Stiffen up a little bit. What should we
Duran
do?
reaches out and grabs King's hand.
I'll hold your hand back. What should we do?
Should we try and get more information out of this one?
Should we try and lure it to a park or an open space? I don't have my binding spell.
Perhaps an alleyway.
I don't know if we should do it near people. There must be some sort of park or green space in this district.
Agreed. Let's go find somewhere.
Let's try and lure him to more of an opening, not near as many people.
Let us see if he wants to talk.
Do not have the ability to speak with it either today, unless it speaks our languages.
I don't know, but I'm getting a sense of an undead.
Yes, so how long does your Divine Sense last?
It's a feature. I feel like it's just like an action thing, so I send out like a pulse.
Okay.
And I can use it 5 times in between long rests.
So you just got the ping of, within 60 feet of you, you just felt the one.
Okay. So, DM, are there any open spaces? I know it's getting, what is it, like late afternoon at this point?
It's about 5-6 p.m.
Okay. But it's always dusk.
Yes.
So any spot we find will kind of be a shady spot. So are there any parks around?
There are no parks in the light district, but there are alleyways that you can duck down, little side areas behind stores that kind of enclosed into almost like a cul-de-sac. In places like that you can go to, but no park.
Okay.
So do you duck into one of those, or what do you like to do?
Let's duck behind one of those, like where it'd be like behind a bunch of storefronts.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you two see Cal duck into one of the side alleyways leading to behind some of the stores and other stores and other buildings that were within that area on your way towards, because you're the halfway point to where you all split off still was some time before you were able to reach the manor. So you have a little bit of a walk left, but ducking in there, he goes in, you guys follow after it. It's a kind of a narrow alleyway until eventually it leads out to a dead end. And here it looks like they probably put trash and other things out here. But it's empty, and there is just a wall leading to something on the other side. You're not sure, but there's seemingly only one way in and out.
Do we notice if this thing is still following us?
You can roll a perception check.
Or I'll ask them, because I'm not the most perceptive. Is it still following us?
I could use my divine sense again just to ping it.
As I'm holding Duran's hand and I specifically ask for it, I'll give him guidance and utter under my breath a prayer.
Okay.
That is 19 in total.
All right. So, Duran, you look around and try to see using the guidance of King, but in looking around, you don't seem to notice anything at all. Cal, releasing your divine sense, you pings again. It's probably at the edge of it, 60-ish feet away on, probably in the back of one of the buildings. Because some of these buildings are tall, the one there, so it's kind of 60 feet up. But Duran, if there is someone there, they're very stealthy and beyond your perception.
Would Cal be able to discern if it's following him, though, based on his 2 pulses?
Oh, no, he knows it's been following him.
Oh, okay.
Is there any immediate way to the roofs from where I'm standing?
No, you have to climb your way up, but there's no like straight shot. You can roll some athletics if you want to try to climb your way up, or acrobatics.
I was kind of just looking what was like in front of us, and as we like, I'm assuming we're kind of at the end of like this cul-de-sac kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to cast invisibility on myself and climb up.
Okay.
And I say in brain chat, try to fly up, and I'll come from the wide side if you go near behind
I can use
us.
my vagary, and that can get me up there.
That works. I think if we go from different directions, it'll help.
All right. I might be able to slow it down to allow you guys to get there quicker.
And you may be able to spot it a little bit easier from up high, so keep us posted.
All right. So you all, Cal, you use your invisibility spell, casting upon you. The energies come around the outside of your perimeter before it's just turning into a nothing as you just completely see through. Duran, you take the time to activate your vagary, and all of you simultaneously begin to rise up towards where Cal is determined this ping is coming from. Cal, since you're climbing, then I need you to roll me athletics or acrobatics check. And the two of you can fly, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay. You begin climbing up. You don't fall as you do, but it's not the most graceful thing, and it's taking time. You knock down like a couple of things, like a little pot that was on the thing falls down and it crashes as you try to make your way up, and the rest of you look back and begin flying up to the top of the roof.
I just picture King like floating up and seeing like a pot being knocked out, and like he's like, he could have just asked me to take him up there.
But it takes you about a minute, but the two of you are there before he's still climbing. If you're looking, I need to roll me some more perception checks, see if you look around. You weren't the stealthiest making your way up here?
No, I'm definitely not. I would like to use that ability, the Divine Sense ability, like a third time when I do make the perception roll.
Okay.
For it to aid me in any way.
This time I'm actively looking, and I'm muttering under my breath a prayer of guidance to see this foul beast, to give myself that +4.
And Duran is just using his eyes.
DM, does the added Divine Sense do anything to the roll, or?
It will definitely will. You just rolled another perception check, and but it definitely will aid you in a way.
You know, I'm going to also use my Rabu bonus, if that's okay, Dungeon Master.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to use a lucky point.
I don't have any of those cool things.
7. Awesome. So my new total is 26.
Okay.
Mine is 20.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And mine is a 14. But I did Divine Sense, so I know if it's anywhere within 60 feet.
All right. So, let me make some rolls.
Some rolls, plural, everyone.
Okay.
There's 2 of them, guys. There's always 2.
Duran, King, you don't notice anything. As you look around, you don't see any change or anything. It just looks like it's just a rooftop. You do see that there's a lovely view above the city here, but you've seen it before flying in here. Duran, you do see some of the shingles on top of one of the roof shift just ever so slightly, though you can't see any being, and it's about 50 feet away from where Cal currently is. Well, you actually don't know where Cal is, so it's about 50 foot away from you. Cal, about same distance away from you, maybe even a little closer. You do sense an undead creature, and you know exactly where it is. And looks like I said, looks to be about 50 feet away from you towards your northern side. You look in that direction, you don't see anything, but your divine sense clearly picked up a being there.
Shoot with your heart.
I'm going to drop the invisibility and cast Hold Person.
Okay. Does Hold Person require you to be able to see the person?
I believe it does.
Your divine sense allows you to see past, let's say, invisibility, because it's not considered total cover.
Yeah.
But you, in terms of you actually seeing it, you can't see it. But you definitely sensed it.
Okay.
And Duran, you look on over and you notice a little, like, part of the shingles shift a little bit. Although you can't see it as well, you definitely know that there's something there.
He has to be nearby.
Through the brain chat, I say, by the shingles that are moving.
Oh, are you still invisible, by the way? Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have dropped it.
Okay.
Would that by the shingles be enough to clue me in of where they're talking? Or at least
No.
to give me a general range?
Yeah.
Not really, because you roll so low on that you don't even know what shingles they're talking about. It's like, by the shingles. They're all shingles.
I'll say to Cal, I don't see it. Where? The whole roof is full of shingles.
Duran is going to, what do I have on me?
I'm going to approach since I'm still invisible.
Okay. You roll me a stealth check at advantage.
At advantage. Ooh, 26.
Alright, so 26. So you begin to walk on over, and you are very careful, tiptoeing away, not shifting the shingles in the rooftop. You get closer to where you sensed it, assuming that it didn't move, but you definitely can pinpoint where it was, and you get about 10 feet away from, unless you want to get further back, but you get about 10 feet away from it, where you believe it was. And what were you doing, Duran?
Duran pulls out his firethorn, he ignites it, and then he's just going to say, "We don't want to fight."
Okay. You ignite firethorn and it blazes up. As when you do so, you yell out. Cal, you definitely feel something shift right in front of you, and begin to, like, the shingles on the actual rooftop begin to move as you hear something like move across it. At this point, you can hear the footsteps going across.
But I can't see or pinpoint anything, right?
Yeah, you can try to do things that would be, since you know the general area, you can try to tackle him, or you do whatever you want. There's nothing that says that to see this you must.
Yeah, can I try to grapple where I think that the thing is? Because I don't want to necessarily tackle and then tackle off the roof and then fall 30 feet.
Okay. Yep, go ahead and roll me at disadvantage a contested grapple check, which will be a athletics check.
Can do it, Cal.
At disadvantage, you said?
Yeah, because he's invisible.
Do they know it's coming, though? Because he's invisible as well.
Oh, you're right, you are invisible, so it'll just be a strength check. Yes, I forgot you were invisible.
Clash of the Invisibles.
So a regular strength check? Okay.
Yeah, it's a regular strength check versus his.
Oh my goodness, that is a 19.
All right, so you go ahead and you reach out and you happen to grab onto an arm. As you latch onto it, the person, you hear as it tries to pull apart, but he is unable to, as he rolled a 16. And you just two begin grappling each other, and you hold onto him tight as he tries to writhe out of your pull. The two of you just kind of hear something happening, have no idea what's happening though.
I'm going to drop my invisibility so I don't have to worry about concentrating on it while I'm doing this grappling, and attempt to get the person, the thing on the ground. And I'll shout out to my friends, "Look for the other one! They always come in pairs." And
as you grapple him and fall to the ground, pinning him down, its invisibility fades away, and you see that it's a similar creature to the one that you captured before, although it looks slightly hairier almost, not like a wolf or anything like that, just does have hair, though the fangs are definitely sharp and go down quite thick, and he looks disheveled, though there's no blood on him like the other one.
Okay. I will attempt to bind him with rope, like as I have him like pinned and like arm twisted back.
Mm-hmm. Still using your same roll, your strength check roll. You easily go into your bag and pull out your 50-foot of rope and begin tying him up tightly, securing him as he tries to rip free. But you're tying him and holding him down because he's still a very strong creature, so he doesn't break free of that. The rest of you kind of look around. If you want, you can roll another perception check to see if you see. But from what you see right now, and with your perception check that you did before, none of you see any other creature.
Duran instead is going to use his movement. He's just going to go down and assist Cal in securing the wand. I can't see him. I'm going to help you, Cal.
Okay.
I'm going to provide cover from above. So if I notice any fishy business, I'm going to cast a spell or prepare to cast a spell if I see something trying to interfere with them.
All right, certainly. So you go up above and kind of survey the area. Everything looks quiet and calm so far. Duran, you make it over and assist Cal, and then you completely bind this undead creature as he writhes back and forth. Eventually, you hear, "Let me go! Let me go!"
Why are the bloodline continuing to follow me.
I will tell you nothing.
Then why should I let you go?
He says nothing, and he looks over and to the side, and he just like, if you know what's good for you.
If you know what's good for you, you'd start talking. Otherwise, King Terminus is going to find out there's a couple things he doesn't really know a lot about running around in his city.
Yeah. Roll intimidation check.
Can I give him advantage by being there with him? Kind
Yes.
of also scowling down on him.
Yeah. That is a 20. A dirty 20.
He looks and says, wait. Fine. I'm here to just watch and observe the mortal key.
Why?
To get him alone and give him the invitation.
What invitation?
My back pocket.
I searched this thing.
All right, you pat him down and take out, and you see that there is a white envelope with a red seal onto it, with the words in. Nope, it'll be in common. With the words in common, it says the mortal key. To the mortal key.
I open it up.
All right. Open it, and you release the seal, open it up, and for a second there's a light that shines out of it. When it does, you're startled for a second, but it almost seems like it scans you, or the light surrounds you, and afterwards it fades away. And then sliding out automatically is a parchment. Taking out the parchment and lifting it up, you begin, and the words on they originally were just a blank parchment, and as you start to stare at it, they start to fill in with words. And the parchment says this: to the mortal key, we bid you welcome from the Bloodland. Our High Mistress Drusilla wishes to have an audience with you, and you alone. If you accept these terms, speak it out loud, and the location of our sanctum will be revealed to you, and only to you. Note, if you are found to be followed, it will be treated as a betrayal, and consequences will be ensued. And then that's it.
I'll float down and I'll say, "What are you reading?"
Without letting any of my companions read this, I say out loud as if I know someone's watching me without really being around. I agree. I just look up and kind of just say it.
Agree to what?
And as he says that, the envelope and the parchment burns up into flames, turning into ash and cinder as it flies across the wind. Immediately in your head, Cal, you get a message that pops in there. I'm glad you agreed to the terms, mortal key. It is I, Drusilla, leader of the Bloodland. We have much to discuss. Please, come to this address. And with the last few words of that, you're given the address that locates, that points to the Grey District, but it's much further than the address of the Knights of Kellenvor, the Equipoise. It's if out of all the districts, the Grey District is probably the biggest in terms of area. Has more non-magical people than there are magical people. So all the way on the other side of the capital is where this is located.
Okay, so all the way at the edge.
Mm-hmm. If you think of every district as a circle, it will be the other side of the circle.
Got it.
Yeah, like each layer is like a donut, and you're on one side and the other side of the donut.
Mm-hmm. So you could get to it from here and then just continue going in the other direction. Though you do know that the trams only go in one direction. Just some information.
Okay. And now that I have received this information without losing it before being able to talk to my friends, it appears that Drusilla wants to speak with me alone.
Oh, that sounds like a trap, Kyle.
It feels most definitely like a trap.
So then why did you say I agree, as King puts air quotes?
I wanted to know what the address was, and I didn't want to risk never finding out by telling you two first about it.
What did you agree to?
I agreed to come alone.
And do you really intend to?
Of course not.
You had me worried for a moment.
Well, the message was addressed to me, and that if I agreed to come alone on this quest, not really a quest, but a meeting, that I would find out shortly once I agreed. That's why I said I agreed. I'm sure there's someone else watching.
Maybe one of us follows you.
I'd say the more the merrier. I could be walking directly into the heart of the Bloodline. I will say that she addressed me as the key and that she wants to just talk, although, like we agree with, that seems more just like a trap.
No, there to be honor among thieves, but do you think that she would actually let you go if you have this conversation and it does not turn out into her favor?
No, I really don't.
I really don't either.
But it was like she was speaking directly into my head just now, after I agreed. And she gave me an address, and it seems to be all the way at the very edge of the Grey District. It's not exactly an easy place to get to.
What of that order you spoke of, Kyle?
It depends who you talk to. I have a really strong feeling that if I go talk to Master Regent, he's going to full-heartedly disagree with this idea, and that I shouldn't be going anywhere near her. But
I also think that you shouldn't be going anywhere near her. She's the head of an assassin's guild. In fact, she leads these undead, and as this thing hisses at us from your bindings.
Let me go. You have what you want. If I don't report back soon, I'll be eliminated.
What do you mean? More will come for you?
Let's just say, I'd rather keep my head. I know we're the last one who was supposed to survey you.
Yeah, one of your friends did it.
And he meant no harm. We are only here to watch, observe, and deliver the letter when the mortal key is alone.
Letter received.
So let me go.
You now know too much.
I think, my good friend Horatio would like to talk to you.
Oh, let me go. I don't have much time. If I don't check in, my head will be on a platter.
And Drusilla will be none the wiser.
He continues to struggle and hiss, but speaks no more.
King, do you think we could fashion part of Chastifold to this thing and have an easier time getting back?
Drag him through the skies? Sure, but he'll be an open target for someone to...
Maybe if we get high enough, no one will see us.
I think that the skies are full of wizards. See, as you look around, must be some mist in the air today, but there are plenty of people of all heights, and I'm certain that they are not all who they appear to be.
What do you think we should do then?
Let us bring the wizard here.
If you keep him secure, I could race to Horatio.
Duran, would you stay here with me, or would you go with King?
No, Duran, you must stay. I'll be all right.
Be careful. And I will have your back, Kyle. We are warriors and friends in this.
Agreed, thank you.
Okay, message me if something changes, and I'll grab Chastifold in my hand and run off of the edge of the building and fly and put it under me and start heading off in the direction of the Corporus Arcanum.
Okay, so it's been some time since the altercation happened, so meanwhile, while this all happened, Horatio, 15 minutes prior, Horatio and Monaco, you are walking throughout the city, and it doesn't take you long to get to the Corporus Arcana. The fork was actually closer to there than the actual residency area that the mansion's in. But you see many of the purple-robed wizards walking in and out of the familiar registration building as you all begin to walk up and enter its doors.
As I'm walking up the steps with Monaco, I will send a message to Judean saying, I am here.
Judean replies, "Step inside, go to the back room. They are awaiting your presence. I am already here. We shall go immediately."
And Horatio holds the door open for Monaco. He says, they're waiting for us in the back room.
Alright. Are you ready for this, Horatio?
As ready as I'm ever going to be.
Right. Thanks again. Come on.
You open up the door and you pass through into this busy room. And when you go in there, immediately, although there was chaos and hubbub, it's silence once again, as you're now getting possibly not used to this sensation of every time you enter in a room with lower level wizards, they tend to stop and stare. But they do nonetheless as you walk up, and the same magistrate who was at the front desk who helped you before is still there, and he turns to you and says, "This way! You are been expected. And he goes and you follow him into one of the back rooms. Immediately, as you are walking through this area, you see that the scenery changes almost. It goes from that kind of office-like demeanor to when you go into the back, it looks more magical, more mystical, like a sanctum of some sort. Opening, and the floors are carpeted. No longer it's kind of slack wood, and the doors look more arcane in nature and in shape. And he opens up one of them. Inside here, and he just leaves before even saying anything to him or stopping through. He opens the door and then walks away.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna direct my word to him. I just Minako.
Yeah. And she takes a deep breath before going in.
Horatio follows.
All right, you go in and close the door. Immediately as the door closes shut, the scenery seems to shift almost to blinking once again. You see that you're in the familiar office room of Judean Sunfell, with Alara standing right next to him.
So, you said you had some information for me?
Yes, Horatio Dularian Kane. I see you brought your tiefling friend as well. Good. We have had our strongest summoners, those who dwell in the mystic arts of the 9 hells, warlocks and the such, do some research, and we found quite a bit of information on this burning hand of yours. Don't worry, this entire room has been magically sealed like my office. Therefore, any entities that try to reach true will be blocked from listening. If you care to explain, darling, and Alara Sunfell walks on over. Why, yes. Indeed. Well, pleasure to see you both again. Well, in regards to the deal that's been proposed of Horatio Dularian Kane joining the Corpus Arcana once again, and of course, you will be under my tutelage if you so wish to learn the true secrets and power of what to be an abjuration wizard. We have done some research and discoveries onto how to separate Miss Minako here from the entity known as the Burning Hand who dwells in the 9 hells. Specifically, we've discovered that he is located in the plane of Legathos. He is a commander of the flame, and in order to separate you two, you must, well, if you are willing to go as far as this, you must enter into the 9 hells. From there, you need to retrieve an artifact, and in using that, it can separate you from this deity, but not only will you be separated, you would have control over his own essence itself. It is a dangerous task, but if you wish to do so, you will not be enslaved to this being anymore, but in fact, have true command and power. You will be the deity, and he will only be your servant.
Travel there ourselves.
Horatio starts rubbing his temples.
Well, that is different.
All right.
But, and then Judean steps forward. It is a dangerous task. And of course, you must complete the ritual to join the Corpus first. Not that I don't trust you, Horatio Dularian Kane, but I don't trust you, Horatio Dularian Kane.
That is probably the first time you've been honest with me.
Well, he says, dismissing your words. We have the mages, the greatest of our mages and summoner, willing to start whenever you are. I suggest you wait till after the gala. But we'll be able to send you both into the 9 hells to Phlegothos itself, both with your mind, body, and souls. Of course, you have the dangers of being in that forsaken plane. There you have to search for any clues to find the truth about the Burning Hand. Every archfiend who is tied to the 9 hells has a tablet. Find his tablet, find out his true name, and take the tablet at the artifact. Bring it back here. Beware though, he will know of your presence inside of his ancient territory. And if he's what I think he is, and not just some normal archfiend, but a lord of the 9 hells itself, then he will come at you with everything he has. We can give you support here into the material plane, but don't fight him. Run. Once you're back here with it, we can bind him, seal him away, and you can use his power whenever you need.
Alright.
Well, she looks at Horatio. There's no way that we can do this just the two of us.
Horatio kind of raises his eyebrows. You know, you're going to have to be completely honest.
You're right. Maybe it's time.
Alright, so when do I join? As he looks at Judean.
No time like the present.
And just so that we are on the same page, I am to join and always tell you the truth, correct? You're not going to be listening or watching every single thing that I do.
He stops for a second and says, I will not be listening and watching everything you do, Horatio Kane, through any means of this corporous seal. You have your own privacy. There will be no magical tether between us other than the fact that you will keep your word and do not lie to me. And you will also find your mother. Return her to the corporous for trial, dead or alive, though I'm sure you want her alive. And make sure, if you find her in another plane, bring her and say that Judean Sunfell and Alara Sunfell of Duskhaven sent you on this quest, and you do this on our behalf.
Understood. And if I may, could you promise that you won't kill her once I bring her back?
I cannot promise anything that will happen. I am only the Archmage of Duskhaven. I do not rule over the corporous.
Could you promise that you'll try to convince them? And it looks like Horatio is asking, his eyes are begging for him to help him out with that.
He pauses, takes a deep breath, looks over at Alara. Fine. You have my word as a Sunfell, one of the founding families of the Corporus, just like the Dularians. Under that name and by my charge as a wizard, a mage, the Archmage, I will be sure to have your mother tried and imprisoned if found guilty instead of killed. That is as much as I can promise, though I cannot promise that will be the outcome. The Grand Magus makes all of the decisions, as you know.
I am aware. Thank you. Alright, I'm ready.
So be it. I will prepare the magic circle, and I will summon a court with the high mages as witnesses. We'll do it here in these protected halls. I'd rather not waste time. Give me a few minutes while I prepare. Go have a seat. And he points on over to, and then you get the sense that from what he's saying, this isn't his office, but this is made to at least look like it in exact. But you definitely know you haven't teleported anywhere yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you go on over to his couch. He goes out and gathers some things with Alara. At this point, King, you've flown up and are looking for Horatio. You don't see him, of course, from where you are, but you do know he was heading to the Corporus and can.
I was beelining towards the Corporus' headquarters, and once I am mostly close to it, I'll shoot off a direct message to Horatio, and I'll say, Horatio, Undead were stalking Cal again. We've captured one, and they want you to question him. Can you meet me at the gates of the Corporus? I'm on my way.
You've noticed, you try to reach out in your brain chat, and it doesn't seem like there's a blockage. You're unable to get to it.
Okay. I will ping a message back, and I'll say, he's not responding. Hold, he might be in they might have him somewhere. Hold on, guys. And I'll try and land at the entrance of the floating space. Since I've been there, I'll sort of understand how other mages have landed, and I'll run up to the closest, not student, but guard or official or someone, and say, is Horatio here?
So you go in there and land and grab one of the Corporus Arcana members, and then he's like, I don't know, check inside.
Take me to the inside. Come on, take me out. I don't belong here.
He opens up the door, and it's a hustle and bustle, and people are kind of chatting and things are flying around. And then he walks on over to a person, and he says, "This guy's looking for the Dularian." And then the other gentleman walks on over. "Can I help you?"
Yes, I need to find Horatio Kane. He might have brought a tiefling lady with him. They had business here, and I need to speak to them quickly. He's not responding.
He is currently indisposed, speaking with the Archmage right now. You are not allowed in to where they are. If you want, you can sit here in the waiting area until he returns.
Can you send someone there to give him a message?
No, we cannot interrupt we were giving strict orders.
I will wait, and can you please send a message to whomever is in charge over there that one of Horatio's party members is urgently needing to speak with him, or the tiefling that accompanies him. Please send a message. This is quite important.
Okay, I will. And he walks.
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
18.
18? No, he's lying to you.
Okay, as soon as he walks away, and I'll go sit down, and then when they're not paying attention, I'm going to get up and just walk through the hallways.
Well, the doors are closed, and so the hallways it's like one giant office leading to back. There's some doors in the back, so I mean, if you want to, you'll have to definitely walk past them and get to the back door.
Oh yeah, okay. Then I'm just gonna walk like they're not even there, and walk towards the door after a moment passes.
Okay.
I'll wait for a moment and send a message to Duran and Cal, and I'll say they're saying he's indisposed and they're not taking me seriously. I'm trying to sneak into the forest to find him. And then I'm going to stand up and walk in and open the doors as if they're not even there.
Okay, you go to open up the doors. Everyone just stares at you. Sees you try to open the door and it doesn't open. You try to pull and twist, and the one red magistrate who's there goes, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, this door's locked. I need to get back there. Can you open this door for me?
Not at all. Can you please wait and sit if you are... do you need help with something? Wait, you are the one who came in here with Mr. Dularian, aren't you?
Horatio Dularian Kane. Yes.
Well, he's currently indisposed. Please have a seat. And when he returns...
Seriously.
Right, you are in the Corpus Arcana, kind sir. So please, sit and I'm sure he will be done shortly. Or you will be forcibly removed as they all start to bring up their hands and move in some type of weird, somatic symbol. You hear vroom, 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 vroom as people are starting to censor his hostility.
Man, I really don't want to fight a whole bunch of mages. I'll say I don't think that that's in anyone's best interest. And I'll tentatively take a step backwards and say, let me write a message. And if someone can just pass it to him, that would be appreciated.
I'll make sure it's placed in front of the door that they're currently at. We cannot enter or disrupt what is going on, but they will get it as soon as it is completed.
All right. Good enough.
All right, so you go and begin comprising your letter.
And then I'll send a message to Cal and Duran and saying, he's apparently stuck in some ritual room and cannot be disturbed. They won't tell me how long. They won't let me in. I don't know what to do. Do I fight them and bust down the door?
I don't think violence is the direct approach you need here. Maybe he'll be out soon?
Okay, can you keep him subdued? I'm waiting patiently now. They've let me at least leave a message.
The two of you are he's like, let me go!
He's fine.
Okay, I'll finish hastily scribbling a message, basically, in a coded way explaining what happened, and I'll fold it 2 or 3 times.
Could have wrote it in Sylvan.
Oh, right, I could have done that. I didn't, though. I will put prestidigitate a seal of Myliki on it, which I believe a symbol will last for up to 1 hour, and hand it to him and say, please leave this next to the ritual room. Thank you.
Okay. They go over and take it from you, and then the magistrate goes and opens up the door, looks back at you one more time, gives you a little scowl before closing it back. And remember, he's like a small gnome, so he's kind of just tiny scowl as he looks over you and closes the door.
I'll ping the group one more time. Do I stay or wait? Or do you want me to return or shall I wait?
I think you should wait.
All right. And then I'll sit in the chair in the waiting room.
Getting cold stares by wizards as they put down their hands from their symbol and begin walking around, and then they start catching papers and going back to their paperwork. Meanwhile, inside, minutes have passed, and Judean... go ahead.
I was going to say, while we're waiting on the couch, Minako is squeezing Horatio's hand nervously.
Are you okay?
Are you?
Yeah. think so. I mean, it's gonna be difficult. I mean, I'm always nervous, but at least we know what we need to do to get you out of that situation.
Yeah, but now you're getting into one, and
I mean, it's just a corporus. It's no big deal.
you say that, but I mean, who knows what they'll do? Maybe they'll call on you or something. Who knows how this will go? I'm just worried, is all.
And I know they're gonna want information. They're going to know. Probably gonna ask for updates or who knows what. But I'm still a seeker.
Yeah, at least they let you keep that.
Yeah.
She gives him like a weak smile and doesn't let go of his hand.
All right. And at that, Judean has a whole bunch of potion bottles and reagents, as well as Alara, and you look down and you see that they've completed a strange, multi-layered magical circle with all types of inscriptions and a language that you all don't recognize that's written all around it. Albeit you do recognize the celestial that's written into it. Nevertheless, this complex ancient symbol has been completed, and it covers the entire the floor, the central area of the floor, enough for you all to step into it. And there are 6 spots that have circles that are around equidistant from each other in the outside perimeter of the circle, or circumference of the circle. I need just you, Horatio Dularian Kane, to step into the magic circle. Miss Monaco, please, you can have a seat there and just watch.
Horatio takes a deep breath and gets up and goes and steps on the circle.
Okay. So he goes and steps on one section, and right next to him, Alara also takes her spot, and she says, "It is time for us to begin. We summon thee, high mages of the Corpus Arcana of Duskhaven. You have heard our call as we enter in to our fold. One member of the founding family, a Dularian who pledges allegiance to the Corporus here in Duskhaven. Now, arise, appear." And as she says this, several mages start to appear, kind of in a weird ephemeral state or ethereal state, as they shimmer, almost like a hologram, appearing at each of the 4 other squares to complete 4 other circles to complete all 6 of them standing there. You recognize they all have strange masks on, all of different shapes and sizes, but they're very beautiful, though mystical. Horatio, you've seen these masks before, and you know these are the masks that the higher mages wear for rituals and things like that. You've never been invited to a ritual. You do know your mother has a mask, though you've never seen it. And asking her to see this mask, she's let you. She loves it when you've shown interest in magic and she showed you things. But anytime you brought off this mask, or every time she pulled it off and she were about to grab it to go off on her way, she made sure you were not in sight. But nevertheless, they're all wearing these masks, and you see Judean and Alara put them on as well to kind of complete the scene before you. It almost feels like the lights inside the entire area goes dim as a bunch of them go into the other ones there, who the holograms go into a strange Gregorian-like chant as they begin humming and ooh and eyeing in a very creepy though beautiful tempo and tone. Alara continues, "By the power entrusted upon us as the Archmages of the Corpus Arcana of Duskhaven, originally known as Igbriel, we bring into our fold a forgotten son, a child who has left but has since returned, a prodigy known as Horatio Dularian Kane. Horatio."
Yes.
"Upon you we entrust the secrets of the Order of the Corpus Arcana. Your tutelage has long been completed and your power is immense. Do we have your word that you will put the Corpus above all else?"
You do.
"Do we trust that you will seek knowledge in any way, shape, or form?"
Yes.
"And with the power of the 6 mages of Duskhaven, the 6 mages of Igbriel, Electar Sumakekt, Melamak Elakumtum," and then Judean continues, "Utukar Ilapet, Zelahana Aktum," And the rest of them finishing their Gregorian-like chant also continue doing, and they all say in unison, Ela ala actept, Ela sala actum, bellicash no Horatio dulerian kin, esec ehmacht. And from the archmages themselves shine a green and blue light that shoot out following a line that goes directly onto the circle that you're currently standing in. From the back, they continue, and more multicolor lights shine out from each of these masked mages. The wind around you begins to pick up as your hair begins to kind of blow. The rope and string that you have to keep it in a bun burns off, and your hair kind of floats all the way down. It's just this lingering, flowing in your back, the wind picking it up every so often. You start to feel your back get hot, and shining through your clothes, the symbol that's on top of your back begins to twist and turn. And Manako, you can see this. You see the tattoo though it's like kind of light blue shining. All the symbols and on all the machinations, the details in this tattoo are just shifting and turning. What was on the top now goes to the bottom, what was left and goes to the right, and vice versa, and it begins to shift and turn. More symbols begin to appear on his back, and while others get larger and other ones get smaller, and they begin to twist and turn. Horatio, it's kind of painful, like you're getting a tattoo on your back, but it's a pain that you can bear. They continue chanting off in this language you don't understand. Elekalo actum, elekala actumek ekta. Blessed be the new member of the Corporus. Combine him, raise him to the great mage. And they're still talking in this language, but all of a sudden you're able to understand it. Automatically realizing that you're learning slowly throughout whatever this magical ritual is happening, that you're learning primordial, the ancient language of the gods, even before a time when they roam the earth, and then they keep speaking it, repeating Elekal Actum, which then translates into the blessing of the Corporus on top of you. Images start to float into your mind that go by too fast. They flash one after another. You see a time long forgotten. You see elves and gnomes and other fey creatures, as well as strange creatures you've never seen before, like that are colored blue and red, and they're almost like their hair are of the elements as well. And times just keep flashing by as they keep going louder and louder. At this point, the winds pick up, and Manako, you can no longer see as a shining light completely encompasses them. So all you see is like a spherical circle that completely envelops Horatio and the rest of these mages. Eventually, Horatio, you start to see that the tattoo starts to grow from your arm and go down to your arm, grows from your back and goes down to your arm on both sides, begins to go around your neck and onto your face, and then they get louder and louder until at the last moment they say Ek Maktum, and as they finish the word, the sphere bursts open, the winds die down, and Horatio, you are covered in a strange large tattoo that is completely tribal on your body, all types of magical shapes, runes that you've never seen before, and languages, and dwarven and elvish, primordial, all these other types of languages to start imparting your body. Eventually, as you look at it and you see Manako, this new looking Horatio, his hair basically standing up from the energy that's unfurling from him, the tattoos, well, first thing that happens is that all the mages take off their masks and just stare at you in a strange, like, shocked shocked look on their face, and then you stare at yourself, not knowing what you've become, what's happened. But slowly, after a few seconds, it starts to fade away and close in on itself until the tattoos circumvent themselves back into your back, and the glowing subsides, and you're back to your normal self, your hair completely down and hitting your shoulders, and they all just look flabbergasted.
When they took off their masks, do I recognize any of them?
Yes, you do. You recognize both Mordecai and Luxio standing there, the Dragonborn and the elf standing there looking at you, some with tears in their eyes, and the other ones you don't recognize.
I give a bow towards my old professors. I'm glad you guys could be part of this.
They look at each other and they look at you, not saying a word. They give you a nod.
And turn around and stare at Minako and give her a nod.
She looks astonished at what happened.
And I look at Jude and I'm like, are we good?
Never in my years have I ever seen someone transcend to the levels that you have just shown. The markings stretched across your body of languages long forgotten. Now is not the time. Alara, we must discuss. But for now, welcome Horatio Dularian Keen, officially to the Corporis Arcana. And with that, we will end tonight's session.
Oh,
Oh,
I had a
What does it mean?
Oh my
I
god.
have to write down a question now. I'm like, what was the writing? So that was so cool.
Horatio, the whole time, like he was just looking at his own hands, just blown away. What does it mean?
What
Why?
does it mean indeed? You got to see your two teachers.
I know he was
Yep.
he was happy. Like he was
Oh
so
my
happy they were there.
It was so hype, though. It was so hype.
So
Yeah.
do I add primordial to the languages that I know?
Yes, you will now add primordial to language that you know. But you are officially a member of Corporis. With it comes great power, but also great responsibility.
And you know what else comes with great power? Following us on Twitter.
Hey!
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you. As always,
Thank
from the
you.
first chapter to the last page, we love you. Take care of yourselves.
Be kind.
Be kind. And
To yourselves.
each other.
And others.
Okay.
Bye now.
We love you all. Bye.
Love you.
love you all
Bye.
very much. Bye.